The first section of the 5 stans begins with a fly-by flight into Almaty in Kazakhstan, where we will stay for 2 nights. Crossing the border into Kyrgyzstan, we enter the remote Chon-Kamin Valley. After 2 nights here, we skirt the northern edge of the beautiful glacier-fed lake of Issyk-Kul. At the very northwest tip of the lake, and amongst the highest peaks of the Tian Shan mountain range, is a Cossack outpost of Karakol, where we will stay for 3 nights. We then head around the south side of the lake and on to Kyrgyzstan's leafy capital, Bishkek. Flanked by the 6,000-meter peaks of the Tian Shan mountains, landing at Almaty airport is a spectacular experience by any standards. And as soon as we arrive, we are greeted by Ulanka, our Kazakh and Kyrgyzstan guide.
Hi everybody, I'm Ulan and I'm Travel Director's Guide in Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. I look forward to welcoming you all soon.
Almaty is a city of green parks and pedestrian spaces. It is beautiful in all seasons. On our first full day here, we explore Pamphilov Park, where Zenkoth Cathedral is situated, as well as the monuments to the Great Patriotic War and the Eternal Flame. In the afternoon, we take a cable car for a superb panoramic view of the city and the mountains. Leaving Almaty on good roads, we head towards the border with Kyrgyzstan. These days, this frontier is easy to cross, and within an hour, we are in the Switzerland of Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan. A 2-hour drive from the border brings us to the isolated and secluded valley of Chon-Kamin. During the Soviet period, this remote valley was a collective farm, and things have changed little for this close-knit community. Our 2 nights in Chon-Kamin are spent at this simple and gorgeous guest house. All bedrooms have en-suites, and there is even Wi-Fi. The guest house has a lovely restaurant that sits within the cornfields and apple orchards. The food is organically grown with all homemade ingredients. Our time in this protected national park is spent with gentle hikes or horse riding for the more adventurous. And then there is a speedy Chon-Kamin river. We choose a gentler section with no technical points for our exhilarating 20 kilometers whitewater rafting downstream adventure. It's a great way to appreciate the nature of Kyrgyzstan. We also stage an ancient game that originated in Afghanistan and is now played all over Central Asia. Buskasi is played with a headless goat that 2 teams on horseback tussle over. The next morning, we leave Chon-Kamin for the 5-hour drive on new highway to Karakol. After an hour, we start to skirt the north side of Issyk-Kul Lake. With enormous surface area of 6,200 square kilometers and lying at 1,600 meters above sea level, Issyk-Kul Lake, like Lake Baikal in Siberia, is 25 million years old. It has a saline content of 0.6% and therefore never freezes. Its transparency is 30 meters. While more than 50 rivers and streams flow into Issyk-Kul, none flow out, yet it maintains an average depth of 280 meters. It is of unique scientific interest. By mid-afternoon, we reach Karakol. Founded in 1860 as a Cossack outpost, this small town, which is surrounded by mountains and ski slopes, is an all-year-round resort. The adventure capital of Kyrgyzstan has at once an alpine charm and an enigmatic end-of-the-road appeal. Statues of Lenin and other Soviet heroes are ubiquitous. It is proud of its USSR legacy and Orthodox roots. Karakol's most stunning attractions, however, is its nature. And today we head out to the Valley of the Flowers using ex-Russian military trucks. On this fantastic day, we come face to face with nature. We cross rivers, pass waterfalls and glaciers, and walk through virgin forests. This is natural landscape at its most pristine. After 3 nights beneath the mountains, we leave for Bishkek along the south side of Issyk-Kul. And on the way, we stop to meet one of travel director's old friends. Eagle hunting in Kyrgyzstan is ancient and in some communities is still vital for the procurement of food. Tamara is a 9-year-old eagle weighing in at 6 kilos. She has been with Turga since he took her from the nest. The bond between them is overwhelming. After seeing how Tamara demonstrates her eagle hunting prowess, we arrive in Bishkek by early evening for a 2-night stay. Leaving Kyrgyzstan, we take the only flight of our 5 stars tour, a stupendous 90-minute flight across the mighty Pamir mountain range into Dushanbe, capital of Tajikistan. After 2 nights here, we head north, stopping at the hidden lake of Issyk-Kul for a night, before continuing to Khujand in the very north of the country. After 1 night here, we cross the Tajik-Uzbek border to arrive in the Uzbek capital of Tashkent, where we will stay for 2 nights. We stay at the beautiful Serena in the very heart of Dushanbe. Tajikistan, our 3rd stan, is perhaps the most surprising because here the people change completely. They have round eyes, they speak Farsi, They are the Persians of the East. Dushanbe is the most beautiful city in Central Asia and one of the most beautiful in the world. It is green, spotlessly clean. It's full of parks, trees, fountains and wonderfully kind and hospitable people. Using four-wheel drives, we depart Dushanbe and head north into the Fan Mountains. Now the Tajik adventure begins. After 2 hours, we reach the 5.1 kilometer Anzob tunnel. We then turn off onto graded road to the Issyk-Kul lake. What makes this remote lake, which lies at 2,200 meters above sea level, so incredibly beautiful is the reflection of the oxidization on the mountains. The next morning, we leave Issyk-Kul and join the main highway to Hujand. We now ascend to 3,200 meters and enter the 5.5 kilometer Sharistan tunnel, which links North and South Tajikistan. By early afternoon, we reach Hujand, city of Alexander the Great, and, like Damascus, 2,500 years of continual human habitation. The next day, we still have time to see the largest covered bazaar in Central Asia. After lunch, we make the 1 hour drive on the straight road to the Tajik-Uzbek border. A 200-meter bridge separates the two countries, and after we clear Uzbek customs, we are met, as always, by our very lovely Anait, who will be our guide for the fourth stan, Uzbekistan.
My name is Anait. I have been cooperating with travel directors for more than 10 years now. I enjoy working with them not only because they are gurus in tourism, but also people who genuinely care their guests and employees. Welcome to Uzbekistan, and I will show you magnificent historical sites and introduce you to culture and traditions of this hidden part of the world. Now, sit back and relax. It will take up only 90 minutes to reach Tashkent.
Tashkent, city of 3 million people, the beating heart of Central Asia. Rebuilt from the earthquake of 1966, this is now a modern city with wide tree-lined boulevards, canals, and glitzy shopping malls. Yet the earthquake of the 26th of April 1966 has never been forgotten. The Monument of Courage is an indelible stamp of that time and the incredible feat to rebuild the city in just 10 years. We leave the Uzbek capital for a 2-hour train journey to the fabled city of Samarkand for a 2-night stay. We then board another train to the major Silk Road trade centre of Bukhara. After 3 nights here, we drive across the great Issyk-Kul desert to one of the best preserved of all the Silk Road settlements, Khiva, where we will stay for 2 nights. Once again, the 5 stans moves in another direction, because Uzbekistan is about ancient and exquisite majolica tile work and great ensembles like Kyrgyzstan Square. Samarkand is 2,700 years old, and it was the hub of the Silk Road. Simply, it was the centre of the world for centuries. It was conquered by Alexander the Great, destroyed by Genghis Khan, and rebuilt by Timur or Tamerlane, the father of modern Uzbekistan. We visit all of the major sites, including the incredible necropolis Shah-e-Zinda, a stunning avenue of mausoleums where 2 of Timur's wives are buried. Here, the geometrical designs are classically Islamic and are based on a mastery of geometry and sciences. No visit to Samarkand would be complete without seeing Mir. Inside of Timur's mausoleum is replete with amazing detail and exquisite lighting. This morning we take the bullet train for Bukhara. Reaching speeds of 250 kilometers, the journey will take us just under 3 hours. Known as a city of 1,000 merchants, Bukhara is a major centre of learning, with over 200 universities and the most scholars after Baghdad. Today, Bukhara is a complete example of a medieval city in Central Asia, with an urban fabric almost completely intact. It is a living and breathing museum. Blacksmiths and metal workers, carpet makers, and amazing puppeteers, crafts practiced thousands of years ago, are still here in the heart of the city. And imagine dinner on the terrace of our hotel, surrounded by 2,500 years of history. The next morning, we use our bus for the 6-hour journey on great roads to Khiva. And when we arrive, the first thing we notice is the formidable 6.2 kilometer walls that surround the gateway to the desert. One of 10 gates allow us entrance into this legendary caravanserai. The iconic image of Khiva is the unfinished minaret, and we spend our 2 nights here just below it in a madrasa that has been turned into an astonishing hotel yet preserving the integral core of the building. The drive to the Uzbek-Turkmen frontier is 1 hour, and after we clear Turkmen customs, we change our bus for 4-wheel drives for the 290-kilometer journey to the Dushanbe gas crater. After a night here, we continue to drive through the center of the Karakol desert to Ashgabat, where we stay for 2 nights before flying back to Australia. When we enter Turkmenistan, we enter another world, the final twist in the tale of the 5 stans, the North Korea of Central Asia. After 280 kilometers on asphalt through the heart of the unforgiving Karakol desert, we turn off for the final 6 kilometers to the Dushanbe gas crater. In 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling for oil when their rig fell into a soft methane gas vacuum. They did the only thing they could at the time: they lit it. 5 decades later, the gates of hell are the world's most beautiful man-made disaster. Our one-night camping experience is as comfortable as we can make it, and it is necessary because to see the crater during the day is impressive, but to see it at night is wow. The drive from Dushanbe to the Turkmen capital Ashgabat is 3 hours, and behind these mountains, 60 kilometers away, is Iran. Modelled in the beginning on the North Korean capital Pyongyang, 80% of Ashgabat's buildings are made of Italian marble. Within 18 square kilometers, there are 1,000 buildings glistening in 5 million cubic meters of imported marble. Even the new airport is in the shape of a marble dove. Simply, there is no other city like Ashgabat anywhere in the world. Travel Director's 5 Stans is an epic journey that has taken on a diagonal line through the heart of Central Asia. All stans have their own unique characters, but the common thread is that of friendly, pure, unspoilt and beautiful people. The 5 Stans is the last frontier of real safe adventure travel left in the world.